In today's video, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin on the long-term chart and go over from 2010 to 2025. And if that sounds interesting to you, you found the right channel, as we do daily stock updates and we take a longer-term look at assets, unlike some channels that just cover like the lower time frames. But to me, the more important stuff happens on monthly and above. And so that's where we're going to be moving forward on our channel. Now, we will sometimes jump down to the lower time frames, but we're going to be looking at the long term. And so here we are looking at Bitcoin, and this is the liquid index, and it has the longest price action history dating back all the way to August or July of 2010. So definitely something to watch for is this chart, and we'll start at the beginning. And as you can see, we have this high coming in right here, and we're going to do a parabola extension, and we're going to take it and put it somewhere right here and try to catch both of them. And then we can adjust this one out to right here, and because we've looked at other stuff in the past, we can kind of say, and now, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just for entertainment purposes, but looking at other stuff, we can kind of look at these two as tops, and this was a high or a top, and so we are now looking at this as a top. And so as you can see, over time, this parabola curve that was pointed to the upside is now sloping to the downside. And so, like most patterns, they eventually do fail. And I do believe we're seeing a failure right now in the cryptocurrency. And back here, in this time zone, the parabola was pointed way up to around 1 million. But as you can see, every little bit that you move this, it's huge differences in price action. So, you know what I mean? Like 2 million a coin, like it was pointed way up there. So like by the end of 2028, we should have been at like 4 million, which does line up with Plan B. He has a graph to where it's the stock to flow, and basically it's saying that Bitcoin's kind of like gold, and because there's only 21 million coins, that there's a limited supply, and if demand increases, that's when you can see the price increase. But have we reached the peak in demand in Bitcoin? And I don't know, I don't really follow too much along with all that stuff, but it is interesting to see. And just from my own experience, it used to be like when I first heard about it back in 2017, it was very rare for somebody to even know what it was. And then to me, just off the people I know around 2019, 2020, I would talk about it with people and they're like, oh, it's fake money, it's all a big scam or whatever. And then we broke up to here, and then it got very mainstream up here. Everybody was talking about it. And then we had a huge pullback, and then no one was talking about it. And now, right in here, it got pretty popular again, and then mainstream right here. So, just based off of that, you don't need TA and all these lines and stuff. But when you put psychology together with the TA, that's when the magic happens, in my opinion. But, like I said, mainstream pullback. But outside of that, we're going to look at the TA, and I've been talking about this for a while, but this volume pattern right here off of this high candle has been going down to extremes for ever since this was 2014. So we're looking at a long-term down slope in volume, and eventually, and a lot of times, that means this is a pattern from here to here. So basically since it started down sloping, that would have a bearish target on the rising wedge. That would be, if you take it from the middle 80% down, which would be really crazy to see, but that would put Bitcoin down to 12K. So if it does happen, that would be pretty wild, but we're here for the charts, so this is about as good of a long-term view as I can give you. And also, these are the halvening cycles where the hash rate gets cut in half on Bitcoin each time, so it's harder to mine, so you have to mine harder and use more electricity to then get the Bitcoin. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And as you can see, the halvening, we have a good rally, halvening, a rally, halvening, a rally, halvening. I guess you could call this a rally, but yeah, pretty wild. It's kind of similar to this cycle where we had a big pump and then a dump into the rally, and then a big pump, dump into the rally, I guess, but who knows, And another thing that no one's really talking about is this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I doubt that it's just going to move the same way, into the future at this halvening cycle in 2028, that it'll just go to the moon. That's, not very realistic to think, but I could be way wrong on that. But because we can't look at the higher time frames on here, okay, yeah, you can. All right, I thought it wouldn't let me. All right, so looking at the 8-month time frame, now this is a very long-term viewpoint on it, and we have triple bearish divergence potentially coming in with volatility crossing up. So could see a big pullback based off of that. And looking at the 6-month time frame, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green Hakinashis, and then we got 3 and then 4, and then this one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So we have had 4, so that's lines up with the past as a good enough rally for a pullback. And then the 3-month is going to be a better look at it. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 drives of bearish divergence off the 3-month. So long term, that is bearish on the asset, even though we have volatility going up. So, and when we look at the 2-week, it's breaking down on bearish divergence. So we would like to see a pullback at least to 60K, and then probably sideways, and then a big breakdown, some similar to right here. And then the bottom to be put in somewhere around 20K to 18K, but probably along this white 200 simple moving average. And then again on the weekly, super low volatility, and then we'll jump into the Bitstamp chart. And as you can see, we're getting volatilities at extremes right here, and so it will expand, and when it expands, that's when we'll see the big move. And with that, we can jump down to the 5-day. Again, absolute extreme low volatilities, and so we'll see what happens with that. And looking at the daily, we got a fresh cross to the downside. Again, zero volatility on almost every time frame. So we're going to see a huge move soon in the crypto markets. And we can check on Ethereum real quick and see what the other cryptocurrencies are doing. And now Ethereum's different. It doesn't have a set supply, so it's even more likely to go to the downside than Bitcoin. And if everybody thinks Bitcoin's better, when you have an asset like Ethereum putting in bearish divergence on the monthly right here, we could see an even bigger pullback in Ethereum and probably set in new lows from 800. And that's just kind of how they move, is Bitcoin will have a big pullback, and then Ethereum will basically increase the leverage on whatever Bitcoin does. So So checking out the monthly, we kind of already covered it, and then we can check out the 3-month, kind of a sideways pattern. So definitely something is fixing to happen soon in the crypto space. So thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe. See y'all on the next one.